Y'all remember this movie?
I was trying to.
Not y'all either. Tango and Cash.
I don't remember this one.
That's crazy.
I remember my friend's dad had it recorded off of HBO, though. I can still see it like on the VHS tape.
That was the introduction to this, was VHS. But this movie was cold, man. It was a cold movie. I didn't talk to Brad about Spider-Man. Yeah, I went to go see it this weekend. My bad, Brad. You out there? My bad, bro. Y'all seen Kingpin?
Oh, yeah. I saw that in the theater, actually.
You did?
Oh, man. Best movie on the screen right now is Event Horizon.
Event Horizon? Where's it at? Oh.
Some sci-fi.
Who's in
3
there?
words. Satan in space.
Oh, shit.
Satan in space.
Is that?
Sam Neill.
I think it
Sam
is.
Neill.
Dr. Grant.
Nah, who's the other guy? Right there in the middle. Right there in the middle. Who's
Yeah,
that
man.
guy?
It's Lawrence Fishburne and it says Sam Neill.
That's Sam Neill?
He just passed
Yeah, the guy in the
recently.
middle.
That's Sam Neill. Okay, and Lawrence Fishburne. Okay. All right. Well, to your request, Mitch, you slick.
2047. We don't have much time.
2047. We don't have much time.
2047, we find a portal
Now-
to hell out in deep space.
But think
21
about it.
years.
Think about it, right? Like in the 90s, when they told us it was like the year 20 something in the future, do you think we're any closer to how it looked?
Like Conan O'Brien's little in the year 2000 thing.
We were talking about Demolition Man and stuff too, like these movies that were made so far back and they tried to predict what our future is going to look like today. You know what I'm saying? Does it look anything like that?
No.
Nothing.
It's your first time here, wanna see what I'm about. Lot of voices in the room, but I'm who bringing them out. Told them loyalty's a bond, they don't know what that is. They was looking for a wave, life will throw you right in. Follow crumbs through the storm, never saw no sign.
That's the powers of people's imagination. You know, I go back and 2 of my favorites I've watched recently were both the Blade Runner flicks. And it's like the
Yes.
OG Blade Runner came out and it was like, Los Angeles in like 2019 or 2030 something.
Yeah.
And it's like
Nah, bro.
Rainy.
utopian,
Yeah.
like, very dystopian, like
They swore
pyramid
that,
structures, but it's like modern society. It's crazy.
they swore that was going to be us right now. Like then, like
Yeah,
in
because
this,
that was like 2030 or something.
Yeah, even forget the flying cars.
Yeah.
Like even
Yep.
if there's anything similar to it, it's like the socioeconomical element of it, and just
Well, and the environmental changes. I mean, it's always raining in the film.
It is. I think so. That stuff is probably more accurate than anything. But they've been trying to end our world, dang, since we was kids, huh? God dang.
All of us have been in. You
Yeah.
know, there's been a constant war since we all been alive.
Mhm.
yeah.
Constant. War was always going to end.
Famine and
Famine. Yep. Yep. So like at
shout
this,
out to Jello Biafra,
who that?
singer of the Dead Kennedys.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Named himself after
Yeah.
the famine in Biafra.
Yeah. So I mean, like according to prior films at this day and age, like we should have this should be like an underground thing we're doing right here. We should have access to this stuff,
Right?
right? Like we should have been like to get here, like going past like military tanks, like no one's out in the streets, buildings are like half crushed and stuff like that, right? And then like yeah, basically, especially where North Omaha was supposed to be looking like.
And even like
2040.
in the movie 1984, they had that 2 minutes of hate. We seen that recently with Fauci. Everybody's just yeah.
On a warpath.
What's going on with the Fauci thing?
Well, he was testifying and pled the fifth a bunch, but because
Okay.
he chose to plead the fifth, everybody was just up in arms about this, and kind of ignoring the fact of what is going on in another sense with all the other felonies that this other person is going through.
So, because Fauci is the one who's behind like really spreading information about COVID and stuff, right? Or no?
He was the head of
of it?
the Department of Health, I believe.
Department of Health. Yeah. And so was that what he was testifying about?
Yes.
Okay.
So I can't say exactly what, but
Yeah.
they were just reminding me of the 2 minutes or whatever hate, the time of hate, where people just yell at the screen and then go back to work.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. Anyways, man, listen, hold on. Let me get these claps. These is claps that y'all can't hear, but y'all will hear those right there, right? Okay. It's here. Joe Benson, what's up? Mitchy
what
Slick,
up?
my G.
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
How do you do? Thanks for having us, man.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you so
man.
much, Marcy.
Cool, man. Two of my favorite dudes, man.
Oh man.
All right, my guys. It's called guys, man. I have experiences with you guys separately, but then we're in the same space and we all mutually know each other and stuff, man. So and know a lot of mutual people and stuff, man. So it's always cool. I ain't seen you in a minute, dude.
I know. I've been out on the road
Yeah, with the monks.
with the monks.
Oh,
I'm the
bro, that's crazy.
tour manager for a monastery of Tibetan monks.
Okay. Yeah.
So I go from doing where we met,
Mhm.
DIY punk rock shows and hip hop shows and this and that, to organizing this fundraising tour for Tibetan monks,
Yeah.
kind of based on my experience with like punk rock and the Beastie Boys. That was kind of my initial. They sampled them on Ill Communication, 2 songs.
This is right.
Beastie Boys are a huge favorite of Mitch and Ice and Marcy, I would assume.
That is correct. In the landscape of white rappers
Right?
and,
Yes.
and hip hop.
Top-notch, yeah.
Yes, they're there.
I classify myself as such a big fan. I know it's like commercially what they meant the most is like hip hop, but from my perspective of loving it so hard, even since I was like 12, like I'm 39 now. So it like the more the years have gone by, it's transcended like just one artistic medium or one genre. It's like they did whatever they want. And that's one of the many reasons why I hold such a high place for them, because like creative, they were all over the place.
Well said.
And all the records throughout the 90s are more, like they said it in their book, they're like more mixtapes than they are albums. So it's like they just knew the formula, man. And like the reasons why they made music together are all the same reasons that I want to make music with whoever too. It's like, lyrically, it's like all they did was just try to make each other laugh. It's like there's this natural camaraderie like within the group. It's like, yeah, it's kind of goes against what you hear about a lot of conversations in hip hop of like, oh, to be the best MC, you're kind of like, you're tearing each other down. But it's like their motive was kind of went against the grain like that.
Yeah.
Like, they knew they were technically good rappers, but like the reasons were different.
Mm-hmm.
And instrumentalists. Yeah.
I feel that. I feel like, and then hip hop or rap like that, right? Like when you have the white rapper versus like black rapper, right? I think there's like different expectations in terms of the content.
Most definitely.
So let's go ahead and unpack it, right? So from like a Lil Dicky to
Third Bass
to who's the most current dude that they was trying to give us last year or the last couple of years. White dude with the curly hair. Even from Asher Roth, right? Those guys, right? What I'm saying is this, right? Like you had reference to like the tearing each other down and like almost kind of like the battle culture or
For sure, a lot of it stemmed from like battle culture,
competitive culture.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I think that, and then I bring up atmosphere, right? You know what I mean? So like they can have like, and you can too, and they just call them backpack rappers, right? Like they kind of get put in that kind of box or like, just like real positive.
Right.
Like we
Put
just
some
have
skate shoes on
do
them
we
or
having
something.
fun with rap? Because rap, like that's how it was started. But there's always been a competitive thing here where even from like DJing to like dance, there's always been a like competition kind of thing, a battle thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, and there can be healthy elements of that do help push the culture forward because, it's always...
Critique is a good thing if it's, if there's some knowledge behind what you're discussing.
Did they ever have any rap beef?
I can think of one example.
Yeah,
and it's
Third
cited...
Bass. MCA and Third Bass had beef.
MCA and
Beastie Boys, did they have...
Yeah, with Third
specifically,
Bass.
Yeah?
Adam Yauch, MCA, God rest him,
Yes,
wrote a whole verse towards who the hell? MC Search.
Search.
Search. And like didn't name check him in the rap, but it came out after the fact, like in the book, that like this whole verse on a track from the album Check Your Head was totally about MC Search. Like, so, but there's one thing, but you know, through other channels, heard years down the road that, like, you know, eventually was squashed, and obviously nothing real ever came of it. You know, no one got hurt, no one got assaulted, no one got killed. Like, so, but it was just kind of just a nice tagging each other. But like, you know, years later, it ended up like squashing it. So
That's cool. Yeah,
that's really the only one I can think of.
Yeah. I remember some of the battles I used to be surprised about. Like after I got used to Common, then I learned about, you know, Common in his day, some of his battles.
Oh yeah,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? So, you know, it's, you know, it's like that, man. You know, I was engaged in a battle before. You know what I'm saying? With my guy Mars Black. Listen, man, that's my boy, man. So I had to hop in there with him. You know what I'm saying? It was me, Mars, and Jamaz, and for real. And you had it was at the time, he lives all the way in Australia now. He was a rapper at the time, but he's like a gamer and a streamer and shit. I can't remember his name.
Okay.
But I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about. He lives in Australia now, and you had Galvanized Tron at the time, and Danny Che.
Okay.
Yeah. Shook. Oh, his name was Shook. Well, it's Shook. His name was Shook.
Okay.
This was like probably like 2016 or something like that.
Yeah.
And they dissed Mars, and so then we came with a diss to Over the Shook Ones beat. You know what I'm saying? So
Shout out to Mobb Deep.
Oh, yeah. I was the one and only rap beef I had to. Then it was one time, I don't know if Black Adam was watching, man. I had a diss track ready for you one time too, but we didn't have to go there, man. But we good, man. We fine. He probably would have had a track that would have flamed me up, but you know what I'm saying? We you know, it was ready though.
For sure.
Funny.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you gotta get there, man. You ain't never had no.
Oh, I can, to divert back for a second, I can kind of give another sense of perspective as far as like BC's having beef with people. And it seemed that like the things that they spent most of their career railing against were like systemic problems. So like it meant a lot. Free to Bet. It also meant a lot. I think some year the VMAs, either 99 or 2000, Ad Rock accepted this award, like they won some VMA or whatever. And Ad Rock used the platform to talk about what had transpired at Woodstock 99, as far as so many like sexual allegations of people getting raped, people getting hurt, or whatever. And so he used the platform to call out, like for bands and promoters and security to start coordinating more strongly for it. Cause like, you know, they want to guarantee safety for whoever wants to come to a show. And so that's, you know, just another one of thousands of reasons why, you know, that's just favorite band, but like just one of my favorite artists, like of all time. It's like to use your influence for that. It's like not necessarily a duty, but like it's just means a lot when someone goes out of their way like that to express concern for, you know, they know it's a community who's like being taken advantage of.
I feel that.
Sure. I mean, at some point, you know, we're not just the singers and we're not just the beat makers. We're human beings with feelings about our communities.
Yeah, man. And empathy.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's why it's important to use your platforms. Always important to use your platforms, right? You know what I'm saying? To advocate for change and things like that. That's something like artists have done over time. I think like always in the times, I always go back to the Nina Simone quote.
Most
right?
definitely.
Right. And that's just what we're supposed to be doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, reflect the times. And whether it's through art or through speaking on issues when using your platform. It's important. I think that's the thing that make me gravitate towards certain artists as well too. Yeah. Like what are you standing for? You know, outside of just making music, like being a human being.
And you know, even like Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit.
Yeah.
You know, she was like the biggest artist at the time, released this song in a coded sense. Everybody knew what it meant.
Yeah.
But it was released anyways, and it was a huge statement she was able to make with this beautiful song.
Yeah. Coded. You know what I mean?
Sometimes don't need to be coded at all. You know, people are going to talk about Marvin Gaye's "What's Going On" until the cows come home, and for good reason. Like sonically, it's still really fresh, but like the message still translates.
Yeah, shout out to Marvin Gaye.
That's
R.I.P. him, man.
Straight up.
Going too soon, man. No. Yeah. Wow. So you're back.
Back 6 months on the road.
How long are you back for?
Probably 6 months.
6
We're
months.
dealing with visa issues.
Really?
It's more difficult for Black and brown people to come to America in a certain sense.
Okay.
It's already difficult for Black and brown people here. So, I mean, the writing has been on the wall for, 50 years about some of this stuff. But yeah, we're dealing with visa issues. We have lawyers, all this kind of stuff to fully understand like how the laws are changing and how we can kind of play the game the right way.
So is the group in the States right now?
No, they're back in India, back in the
India?
monastery.
Okay. So visa issues. Was that during your last run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they used to go to Mexico or Canada to re-up their visas. They'd stay for about 2 weeks, and then their visas would be renewed for another 6 months.
Okay.
So they were gone for about a week, and then the government gave them a week to basically leave again. So they
That's
had to
crazy.
go back to India. And
Did you have to cut short your tour?
yeah,
Dang, man.
probably halved it.
Yeah.
But we were really effective, and that was great. I mean, we're building a new dormitory for this. It's called the Pukong House, which is a certain dormitory, one of 11 in the monastery.
Okay.
So we're building a whole new building.
That's dope. Mitch, I don't know if you know, but Joe brought the monks to the first culture house that we had.
Yeah, over on Burdett.
Yeah.
I heard about it. I think I missed it,
Yep. They gave me some.
but
Yeah, we got some shit up there.
Some little statues over here.
Oh,
The
yeah, that little green thing.
the
Green
green one
tar.
and the brown one. Yeah, they gave me those.
Yep.
And
Good vibes.
it's super dope.
so I'll be blessed over here, man.
Yeah.
I always attribute to that.
Yeah.
To that. You know what I'm saying? That was cool.
It was cool.
Yeah. Joe drove me on tour last fall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a good run.
We did a run, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I was talking earlier about how we had to drive back from Albuquerque
From
that last day
Albuquerque,
for a family matter. And oh my gosh, I remember pulling into town just like, what just happened? 'Cause, at a certain point,
Yeah, man.
these highways are like a air tube.
yeah.
If you concentrate enough, you don't really remember what's going on. And it just
You just
arrives.
Yeah, man, when you-
locked in.
Go through something that serious, like after the fact, once it's done, it kind of feels like a fever dream.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it's such a surreal episode of life that that never really happens otherwise. But
Yeah.
like
And
sometimes something calls us back into whatever. It's like if it's urgent enough, you got to get through whatever you got to get through and
Yeah.
persevere.
You gotta get there. Yeah.
and
the
really,
the road's a great example of that.
And really, my people ask me about meditation. That's my kind of form of meditation when I'm on the road, just driving. That's kind of how I'm able to like kind of slim my energy into just fucking driving. I don't know. It's weird to explain, but
Yeah. I wanted that too, man. Cause like, dude, you've been touring driving for these guys and y'all go like go across
Yep.
the country, bro. You know what I mean? So shout outs to you, man, for like
Appreciate
finding
that.
something that does give you peace. Right. But also you get to sightsee and stuff, bro. You get to take in,
yeah,
like all these different trails and
Cultures.
getting to see it, culture, getting to see
Really.
things. That's the thing I appreciate the most when me and you were driving, and it's just like seeing different things I hadn't seen. You had been through some of those routes already, so we knew what was to come. But I hadn't been to Utah. Yeah, I hadn't seen those mountains that
Yeah.
drove through there. Those kind of things like that.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what
I
I'm saying?
remember. Yeah, I remember some of our conversations. We were driving, just like, wow, look at that.
Yeah,
Wow, look at that.
yeah.
Oh, look over there.
Yeah. The coolest thing is, man, I screenshot so much music that you were playing.
Yes, I remember that too.
That's quite a common occurrence when you're hanging out with Joe.
Yeah,
For sure.
Do you feel me?
Because Joe's musically goes so much deeper than about probably 90% of people I know.
They don't know. Like, if you know Joe, then like
Man.
one thing you gonna come from a conversation is you're gonna know what your records are worth. And then you're gonna know exactly what the value of your records
There's
is.
practical reasons too.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I DJ a lot of time. People come up and talk to me because the stuff I play isn't on any platform.
Yeah.
And Mitch and I were talking about 145 that I just found. V. Richardson. I can't believe. I think it's called. Oh, it's so good.
You know
So
that
you
record?
can't.
I know it now.
I sent the video, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, we literally searched for it. I see if it was on Tidal. That's what I listen to stuff on, and search YouTube, like non-existent.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
Back in the day, people used to scratch records out, so people coming up looking at the table couldn't see what was playing.
Oh, is that why? Because some records
Yeah,
I got are scratched out.
Yep. So some DJs playing it. So
Oh,
it's
okay,
like,
interesting.
there's no SoundCloud or nothing,
Oh, they gatekeeping, man.
but you got to break, man.
Let
you got
the
to
lad
protect
know
your
what it
brakes.
is. Yeah,
You got to protect your heat. You know, 'cause
protect your
that's
heat. Yeah.
If you found Bongo Band back in 1983 and
Yeah.
somehow was able to play it later and
Can't share that.
scratch
Yeah.
that shit out.
Oh, for sure. That's crazy. Mitch, like speaking of Joe though, and like his music, let's say like Index, like you my friend, someone that I enjoy talking about music with too, because I feel
definitely.
like
Same.
you're saying you're a guy who like just like embraces it, but man, like super talented dude all around. I've seen you play drums, I've seen you play keys, I've seen you play guitar, I've seen you on the vocals, I've seen you like
At the merch table.
at the merch table. I seen you, I seen you playing numerous different bands, sub for Shouts to on a new release too.
shout out to I'm going to be in the building. I'm sitting in on a song with them.
Friday,
Yeah,
right?
Friday at the
Yeah,
Slowdown.
Slowdown release show. Be there. Yeah,
It's gonna be lit. I've not to go off on a minor tangent, but like I posted about it. Like I try to show support and many who are people who are close to me, who I know are doing new interesting things. And I gotta say, I'm filled with like a lot of gratitude and pride to see like the progression of that band in the last decade. Like since it started, they've always put out quality material, but there's within each release still like finding ways they sound more like themselves. Like, and that's such a good guiding light that any artists or writers, sonic creators should strive for. And they're a really good example of it. Yeah. So yeah, I love
Yeah, I like like you saying, the progression. So watching them grow, and then each release just more into the rollouts, and just taking things up a notch and everything.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And so I really enjoyed their record release, and I really enjoy just like Mari, Joe, and what I'm saying, the other two. Like they're always cool, man. Every time I see them, every time I run into them, and I think that like all that always like counts, right? When you like going into your support for artists, man. So like one thing to let them music, but then like if they're cool, good people too. At the end of the day,
it's a big bonus.
Yeah,
Big bonus.
Yeah.
So, Mitch,
you see me do all these things.
I see.
So you were gonna say
All the things.
Let me continue. Hey, you remember when we did the Nas tribute show?
it's still one of my top 5 favorite shows I've ever put together, or ever done.
Yeah,
It is all out of admiration, and came with just like a matter of knowledge. I look for any opportunity to do something like exciting that like people wouldn't see otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it was probably, I think maybe like 6 months before. I remember most of us were at like House of Loom one night, just hanging. And by that time I had spent, this is probably like 4 or 5, 6 months before the show actually happened. The show was like April of 2014. Dang. And I knew that like the couple seasons before going into it, I was like, oh, like the anniversary of that's coming up. Like how dope would it be? Cause like, I doubt anyone else in Omaha, Nebraska is having the same thought of like, oh, I want to put together like an Illmatic tribute show. So my old band, Artillery Funk, God rest, we were around from like 07 to 2015.
Featuring Nick Summers.
Featuring Jonah Aney, featuring Josh Probst. These are my brothers who we've gone in and out of contact with each other throughout the years, but like those dudes are like forever Stillwater friends. So at one point, I knew we were good enough as musicians to be able to like hear something and then like to internalize it and like play with instruments or whatever. I knew a couple years before then that's something we were pretty proficient at. And so I thought, like, man, I'm friends with enough like rappers or like great MCs to like, I know we're all just kind of by design like fans of that album. It is foundational. It is an absolute like kind of watershed
Keystone.
moments like in music.
Yes.
So I just, it's just a matter of like just trying to find opportunity. Be like, hey, is anyone else down for the cause? Enough people said yeah, and we started rehearsing for it like 2 months beforehand. Mm-hmm. So that type of organizing is something that really gives me a lot of life and something to look forward to. I love kind of just doing one-off like big shows like that.
Yeah, I feel like that with you. You're like almost like it's almost like mad up here sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair,
right? But that's how you operate, like in that space. Like you like that makes you, and I think that's why when you do one thing, like you're so good at it. You know what I'm saying? Turns just being an artist. You know what I mean? Like like I said, man, when we did that Nas tribute, oh, bro, that was the first time I met ISO. First time
Indeed.
I met ISO. You know what I mean? So those that know, King ISO was actually a part of that group, man. You know what I mean? So that was good reach.
Crazy to see. Reach, and it was only by virtue of knowing Articulate.
Articulate.
That was his boy.
Oh,
and they're
Articulate.
still
Yeah. Where is he?
Nick came out. He's around, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
I haven't heard from Nick in a while.
But last time I saw him at Benson.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. But ISO was his boy. Nick told me like it was weeks before the show. He was like, I'm sorry, like I can't make it, but I got a buddy of mine who's willing to sit down. And at that point, he was only doing like 1 or 2 verses. So it wasn't that hard to, find someone else to pick up the slack and like learn this material. It wasn't that much because everyone had like a pretty easy time to like learn. Like at the most, people were doing like 2 or 3 verses like for the whole show and playing a whole course of an album. It was like had like 6, 7, 8 MCs a part of the whole show, like trading off verses.
That was a fun show. But we fast forward into. I brought this up with Brad to the summer 2020, right, where I would start working on the Freedom Summer album with Saddle Creek Records. And so we were going to the studio, and we spent a week in the studio, and you came in, and you played on, was it 1 or 2 songs?
It was at least one, maybe I think a couple.
I think it was 2 that you was on. You did Shitty Day. I thought you did another song too.
Which Shitty Day was not the joint with Yuzo and Connie. Was that song?
No, that was with Jakeem was on that one.
Okay, yeah.
And you played keys on that one.
Yeah, played Rhodes.
Played Rhodes on that one. Sat in and played Rhodes. You know what I'm saying?
That thing will stick around. That's actually one thing in records that kind of comes up is certain instruments.
Yeah.
Fender Rhodes in jazz will sell.
Yeah.
It's like this resurgence of this certain sound that's, holds the test of time.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Fender Rhodes.
Yeah, shout out. Shout outs to it, man.
It's an exalted place in music lore and music history.
Yeah, it was, man. And that album though is heralded as one of the top records to come out of the city, man. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
We would the next summer we would play Omaha Festival, and that's where you were the infamous.
I got the call, said, "Hey, putting the band together," and it was like quick reaction, like negative time. Like I knew the answer before you even asked the question.
Hey, who was up there, bro? We had like a 10-piece. It
was a big band. It was like
10-piece
full
up there.
band, guitar, drums,
crazy
bass, me on the keys,
horn. We had like 2 different horns on there. Like we went crazy on there. But you wore the MF Doom mask. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Of course, I did that of my own volition.
Which was just legendary, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like how long did you have that planned in your head? Like when I asked you to play, was you like, I'm doing the Doom mask?
It was at least like it was like a firm decision, either like a week or 2 beforehand.
Okay.
I was like, I think this is like a sweet move to make.
The time.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, how many times am I going to play Maha? I mean, back then, not that much, but going forward, who knows? Like,
doing hip-hop.
Obviously, it's a goal of mine.
Sheesh.
Like, it's a goal of mine for any like local artist to get on. A lot of friends and contemporaries have had that good spot of getting on that bill.
Dude, Maha,
but like,
they don't even understand. Maha, they don't understand like how big that is to the homegrown artist to play that stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bucket list. You know what I'm saying? But also make you feel like you're doing the right things. Also as an artist too, you know what I'm saying?
Going somewhere.
Well, yeah, think about it. There's not that many main stages like that come here, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Like a fest.
That like we feel that we can get on.
Exactly. And any opportunity like that is golden because, I mean, not to get into like a whole existential thing, but like all my life, I've felt there's such a cultural disconnect within even though in our own city that we live in. It's like, to some degree, I think it's safe to say that like the arts, being creative, being a part of these communities, there is, I think, a kind of a minor kind of condition of like we're all kind of live in that bubble. And that's why like, you know, the greater Omaha or maybe like 70% of the population, they're like, no one's really like tapped into what's happening creatively. And it's all really interesting. But so, yeah, to have any opportunity like that, just to showcase like, yeah, we live in the same neighborhoods you do. It's like, there's people who have just as great of ideas creatively to like move culture forward as anyone else does. But people kind of tie notoriety in kind of, I think, seemingly unhealthy ways and be like, oh, if success means this and this and this certain things. And it's just by life, it's not designed like that.
Yeah.
It hasn't, okay, so Omaha hasn't been around that long, right? It has, well, now it's been around about 13, 14, 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
Joe, like when you were doing the Sandbox and stuff, what was the festival here? What was the main stage here that the local artists, like that they wanted to get on?
Yeah, I think it was right when that started. I don't remember the years.
Yeah.
But seems like it was right as Maha was starting. What was like Edge Fest was maybe a few years prior. And what was it? I think 93.3 had one before.
And they brought some, like Edge Fest brought some huge artists.
Yeah, like Violent Femmes, Flock of Seagulls, regional stuff like the Urge and Funk Junkies and blah, blah, blah.
So when they started bringing like
311.
311. So is that kind of one of the first groups to start bringing like national acts like that?
Seems like it. You know, I mean, the Civic Auditorium was always pretty good with, I remember 9 Inch Nails going there and like Ministry and some things like that.
Yeah, like.
But even in Council Bluffs, there was that Fat Jacks or whatever. I don't know if you remember that place. But they used to put on some heavy shows.
I never went. I must have maybe been a little ahead of my time.
Yeah. I bring it up to fill in this gap here, right? Because of what the scene is now and what was morphed into, which is, seems like there are more like avenues and stages, right?
Yeah.
They just, you know, these organizers need to kind of just put the arts on such. But I'm trying to figure things out too, of like, you know, how we got here. Because Marcey Yates, like I come in 2014.
Yep.
14,
I think
15.
that's right about when I met you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's
maybe 16. Yeah.
That's why I start to make my impact, right?
Yep.
And so like I remember like the artists that were there at that time, and then I remember people introduced me to artists that were performing like Articulate. I didn't know who that was. I didn't know Mars Black. I didn't know Jemize. I didn't know 311. Like, dude, I didn't know none of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know, right? Like, I wasn't on the local music scene.
Or
you know
like
what I mean?
even like Buddy Miles or Lester Abrams and Arno Lucas and
there was no music history. There's no music history. Like for a youngin' growing up here, there's no music history, right? Like and you got to research that shit and go to Wikipedia. That's the best you got. Exactly, right?
You know?
Yeah. So in our history books, they're teaching us about
Calvin Keys,
Billie Holiday. Well, I'm saying they're talking about Billie Holiday. Yeah. They're talking about Stevie Wonder. They talking about, you know what I'm saying, people like that.
It's like big marquee acts.
Rather than in our textbooks, like, you know, there should be, I think in the text, right? Elementary or whatever, like there should be like your city history, like, you know, just like, so you learn about that history as well too. You know what I'm saying? So you know who come from there and, you know, all those great things. We learn about everybody who invented something from everywhere else, right? Except like where we're from. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I say that to say, yeah, you feel me? So like, I just didn't know, bro. You know what I mean? But then like when I meet you and I talk to you, like you had the Sandbox going, and I remember just like, I'm talking about like probably like towards the end of the runs when I like started to even like come there, and I don't think me and you weren't even familiar.
Not really. We had like worked in passing, I believe. Yeah,
like, and so like, cause I would just come to things that I've heard about her. You know, someone would be like, "Oh, it's a show," but like I wouldn't know who I was seeing, what I was seeing, bro. You know what I'm saying? But then like you have like this knowledge of like people from here, and you kind of know more like the guys that were into the hip hop stuff and all that stuff, dude. Before, you know, so when I bring that stuff up, it's kind of for me to close gaps too. You know what I'm saying? But then also you guys just speak on like for those that don't know like how the scene was here, and I just think people just don't know enough about it to even like have a respect for it, an admiration for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, do the kids know about, you know, Club Fusion or Cog Factory?
Yeah.
Or
We're coming up on a generation now of kids not knowing, even not having a knowledge or history of like West Wing, Middle House, or
You know?
Brothers Lounge, or me myself. I was just barely aged out of having any experience at Cog Factory or going to the Ranch Bowl. Even like I could have been of age or in the knowledge of like, yeah, I would have been like super young if I was going like the last year or two that they were open. But I just, you know, that knowledge just kind of went over my head. So I
Same.
knew people who had lived that experience.
Yeah, I
but
missed
like,
the whole Ranch Bowl era.
I just wasn't there.
yeah, I was out sneaking out to go to the Cog Factory. You know, my parents were like, 22nd at Leavenworth.
I mean, the last phase of Ranch Bowl even was like, I don't remember what year it closed, but it could have been even like on the cusp of when I really even started taking music seriously and taking it as like more than just a hobby. It became like, when it became a passion when I was like 14 or 15, and I actually started playing when I was 15, like drums and then guitar.
Yeah.
But so I'm getting into it now, and then all this history is already like, it's a big part of a lot of people I know's lives.
What do y'all think is the best era of Omaha music?
I mean, for what I've been a part of, that's what I can speak on.
That's
I
it.
mean,
Just for what you could speak on, we feel like it's been the best era.
I mean, doing the Sandbox was not very fun. As I look back, it's way more fun. But I did go to a bunch of really good shows at Cog Factory and the Ranch Bowl, you know, De La Soul. Saw Mos Def at Ranch Bowl.
Damn.
Bro.
That's awesome.
What?
Yes.
Mos was here?
Yes.
Dang, dog. Dang.
It's wild to think about now because it's so long ago. I mean, the human brain is so wild.
Big facts.
But yeah, all that music stuff. I think early 90s. I'll say early 90s.
I might sound cheesy, but I'm loving the present, because I think every time I go to a show, or if it's to get a little more specific, I think the whole ecosystem of like punk and hardcore is in a really great spot. Every time I go to an event like that, if a show starts at 8 and there's like 4 or 5 bands on the bill, like I'm walking into that venue and it's like damn near full, like already. It's less of people showing up like for their friends and being kind of exclusive in that way. It's like a whole scene rallying, and it's really beautiful to see. And I think even in a modern context, I'm psyched on where like people like us, people like yourself, people I know who have like, we're kind of forming into like elder statesmen and having access to like, to be able to, and even in some small capacities, like teach a younger generation about what's significant, what's important, how important it is for people to have such artistic integrity. So,
Artisanship.
I'm hypeful for the platform, but I can just speak for myself, being like, I'm just looking forward to getting into the future. Like I've always been a part of bands, and not to make it about myself or anything, but like I've had one project out just under my name, but like I'm hyped for people to hear what's coming next, to even how sonically I'm developing and maturing, and like knowing when to care, knowing when not to care,
That part.
as far as our artistic choices are concerned.
That's a big one.
Yeah. I feel you, man. I feel you.
I do hold a lot of space in my heart for when I first became friends with Connie and Keith, the Midtown Marauders, like the whole House of Loom scene where we first met the first time. Like those were kind of watershed moments. In hindsight, I look at them like that, but as it's happening, you're like, oh, this is just dope.
Yeah.
Like, but doesn't feel as significant then when it's happening in real time.
No, I feel like it was. I mean, think about it. Like a lot of people from that time are in significantly different places now.
And this is in between like late 2000s and like mid 2010s. Like that whole production, that whole era is informative for me.
Yeah, it is. It was the birth. It was the birth. I feel like that in that mid 2010s, the mid 2010s, like
That's probably when the Sandbox was around.
you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
I moved back in like 2012, 2013. I started like first time I went to Make Believe was then. I started coming around the House Slim at that time, but I wasn't like part of this like the scene yet. You know what I'm saying?
That's where we met too.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
Where we met. Yeah, that's where we met. And just try like getting on the scene is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to talk about that. Like there's a scene here that you have to break through to get on.
Yeah. The Sandbox was kind of difficult for me because I wasn't in a band. I had been out of, I was in the early 90s at Cog Factory and all that. But to some extent, there was like, how is this dude doing that kind of sentiment? It felt like.
Yeah. When you were doing it, dude, when you were doing that, when did you first start? Like, what's the first record you ever sold?
Oh, geez, I couldn't even say. But the first record I bought was Led Zeppelin 2 and Jefferson Airplane, Surrealistic Pillow at the thrift shop in my parents' hometown.
At that time, were you like, were you, I'm saying like, did you know that records had resale value and that like you were going to start stocking up things and flipping them?
I was into it like a secret message. Like, look at these fucking secret messages, Yeah. It was very fascinating to me that this time was stamped into this stuff and you could play it back whenever. Whether it's, a thing that back in the day you could record, like people had record cutters where you could, I'm back from the war and shit. Or it's Thanksgiving and here we are with Uncle Charlie, say something, or whatever, to where it's this point of view that's very specific. It's unchanged. We have all this AI, all alterations and
running amok.
Yeah.
It's annoying as hell.
A record is just a very awesome thing to me. And that's kind of what it started out as. Point of view also. I love people's points of view.
Yeah.
It's different than mine. It's precious. And I always have loved that.
That's a driving force in my life too. Like the best friends I've made, us and like other like-minded folks who I've become close with, it's like, granted, it gives me so much comfort that like we're aligned on so many things, but come from all radically different perspectives and ways of life, or mad different upbringings or our own experiences. But like there's still enough like mutual respect and like common ground of like things that we do align on, and it's that sense of community keeps me going for sure.
Facts. For real. I mean, being a part of stuff with you guys for so long, I mean, it is really cool that we're able to do this today,
Agreed.
It is. It's super cool. You know what I'm saying? Mitch, how's Mitch Fork coming?
Okay, so the people don't know.
Tell the people.
So we're breaking ground.
Okay.
So close friends of mine know that I'm starting to get into the game of, I think either by next year, it'll be a much more public affair, but I'm testing ways of like because I do have ambitions of starting up my own fest for a lot of reasons, personal and professionally. But I was out with a group of friends, I want to say probably inside of a year or so ago, maybe a year-ish. And a topic of conversation was about how like Pitchfork wasn't going to be like a festival anymore. Or they were going to stop doing that. And a friend of mine, Jared, just uttered the phrase out Mitchfork, and we all fell out laughing. And like, it's just, no one was thinking of it. Only he thought of it and he said it. And it was just like this kind of light bulb moment. And I'm like, well, it's kind of such a good name. I feel like it should be something that I should try to manifest. So given my community, my network, like I know it's something I can pull off, but looking forward to planning a date for October 17th. But I'm just kind of like testing ways of like how to run the festival, even if it's at my own house, like this first year or two. But to want to be able to start it. So yeah, I'm starting Mitchfork Fest as a way to kind of subvert like the line of like politics that usually goes into building a festival. It's more kind of, it's a lot closer to my chest. It's like, if I like your music, or if it resonates with me in a very honest way, like you're going to get booked at Mitchfork. It's going to be less of like a political game than just like, oh, who's popping, who's got the numbers, who's got the figures. It's like,
I feel that.
It's just a more direct line of like what talent resonates with me. And I think you're doing something interesting, then you'll have a platform and a place to play for Mitchfork. And it's honestly going to be a really interesting way of just a bigger need, like a bigger desire to engage with the community.
Yeah.
Like, and that goes across all facets, whether it's music, food, you know, inevitably years down the road, maybe like finding sponsors. So like, you know, cause a lot of friends of ours are like running their own spots nowadays. Like I'm out here repping for a ground floor guitar.
Yeah.
Like,
Lucky Records in Miami.
yeah,
That's
man, hell yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's the cool thing about right now too, and like you're saying, that's what I'm intrigued with the most about now is that we're in different places where we have, you know, more resources and you know and more of a platform, man.
for sure.
One thing I have noticed though, Mitch, because Mitch Fest will be at your house. You mentioned like first 2 years. Listen, what I've been seeing is
Oh yeah, and that's a kind of a vague statement in itself. It might only be the 1 year.
no, keep it there. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, weird. Okay.
What I've noticed now, right, is aesthetic is becoming everything, and not traditional playing spaces.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Laundromats, Denny's,
front porches,
front porches,
laundromats, cars. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's why we see platforms like the Porch Fest or whatever that happen in Omaha every year.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, yours is already like one of a kind self because it's in the back of your house,
Yeah.
right? And which is going to give a different type of vibe, right? Which is more intimate, more like backyard, like hang out, you know what I'm saying,
Uh-huh.
type of thing, but packed out, you know what I'm saying, and festive. But again, it's a different experience, but one that you can curate to your, you know what I'm saying, to
For sure.
the best as you know what I'm saying you want to and you can. But then for the performing artist, but then when I look at it, video wise, photography wise, right, content wise, because like when you're curating these things, you want to curate. You want to think about the content that they can use, the content that is going to be created. Right,
Uh-huh.
that's the main thing we got to think about now when we're creating these events and putting on these things. Like the event lives on through the content that people are sharing from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And so that creates the anticipation for the next thing, or gives your event, you know what I'm saying, the credit or, you know, the look that it should have, right? And so I say that to say like, nah, man, like not traditional, like, you know, stages now is like the thing. You feel
Yeah.
me? Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
That's
play
fair.
medians here pretty soon too.
Where?
Medians
Oh, what's that? Where's that?
in between the streets.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Instead of
The
people
general
begging,
structure.
we'll just be like handing out music and fine art.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah. For
But
sure.
ideally, you know,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
that point of view that people are struggling won't be there because, you know, it's like the broken window theory. It's not because somebody threw the rock to break the window. There's all the shit prior to, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, that's an interesting point though, and it's something it's most valid for sure. And as much as I'm down and I like that idea, but at the same time, maybe years down, it will. I'm interested in ways that it will grow and evolve as well.
Cool.
Going to expand
Dude.
to your neighbors' backyards.
I mean,
South
yeah,
by
because you know,
Southwest.
it's gonna be a couple of years of like me just like writing, like typing out notes to leave in all my neighbors' mailboxes.
You
and be
gotta
like,
borrow their
hey,
yards,
this is
their backyards,
happening.
yeah.
Like, so we won't go outside of sound ordinance, obviously,
Oh,
but
man.
just to make people aware, it's like that's a whole other
That's
like a
cool,
work in
man.
itself. But
Yeah.
I do imagine the day where I'm able to start, you know, years down the road, start booking more regional, or even like as my network grows, is like what kind of talent would I be able to pull for, you know,
Yeah.
years, you know, 5
Yeah.
to 10 years of Mitchfork.
I think you will. Like you develop relationships and you're great at like maintaining them. So I think like there's gonna be people who's gonna do anything for you when you ask them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Oh yeah, for sure.
Uh-huh.
You need a DJ, by the way.
Dude, it's like the third
get
person
this
to say
started.
that to me, dude. It's like
Yeah.
to be able to put like, yeah, it's just showcase talent and something unique. It's like, you know, as much as I like, if, you know, you can expect to go to a fair amount of shows I go to. It's like kind of a lot of the same aesthetic, but like my favorite shows have always been like just mixed bills. You can catch a little bit of everything, or
Man.
like that come from such different artistic principles and
Yeah.
mediums.
Mm.
I like that. The mixed shows.
Like a curry.
Straight up,
You know?
Like
Curry
a
is
musical
everything.
curry.
Yes.
Doing the shows like at like the Loom that kind of introduced that kind of to me. It's like just mixed genre shows.
Oh yeah, man.
Because I used to always think that like hip hop shows need to be all a hip hop
Yeah.
like lineup, but nah, you know. And then some of those back when Waiting Room was doing the show. Remember they used to be on point with the showcases and like letting us like get, you know, book the spot and stuff like that. They don't do it so much anymore.
For sure.
But there was a time where that, you know, and you know, like I did mixed genre shows. I played shows with you, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Olivers was great for doing mixed genre shows. Man,
We did a lot at the Sandbox too.
Sandbox.
A lot of the Sandbox. Olivers is great to rip at. It's like playing in your friend's giant living room.
Yes.
You feel me? Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you can market it pretty easily. And even if the place even is at half capacity, it still feels kind of like a filled out room, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, house shows was a thing too. At like during that kind of time period. House shows? Yeah.
Yes.
Them joints was hard. I remember going to go see, this is when I first met Static and and his boy
Strike.
Yeah.
See the Dirty Diamonds.
Dirty Diamonds.
Shout
I used
out-
to go
goodness.
to Lincoln
Shout
to the
out
house
Static
shows.
Soul.
Yeah. Shout out to Static, man. I used to go to Lincoln to the house shows. Man,
Yeah,
me and
man.
my boy Jamal, Helix Choi, he would take me out there. He was like, yo, it's this dude up there. And he put me on the Sleep Sinatra too.
Oh,
You know, shout out to Sleep. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I always had appreciation for Lincoln MCs. I always felt like they was raw, man. And they had some dope MCs. Lincoln had some dope MCs.
And creatively on all fronts, like I remember a phase, I don't remember how many years ago, like inside of like 5 or 10 years of like seeing this creative boom of like young punk bands of like kids who were just like getting into college and like just getting together and make noise in a garage somewhere.
Yeah.
And I remember that renaissance. And Joe's bandmate Mari was absolutely a part of that scene and playing in a lot of great bands that like, you know, that's what, you know, obviously that kind of thing gives me hope and a lot of comfort about the future, knowing that there is a very young, vigilant, very motivated, like demographic of young music makers who are making things happen and organizing in really great ways.
Okay.
Yes.
So y'all think we in a good place?
And in fact, I want to go off of that. Artisanship is going to come back. You know, people making columns, people even, you know, milling. People are going to be making more stuff as we go on, I believe. I really believe.
And if there's any time that we need for sure, because like the lack of journalism, like there are people who there's always the same people you can expect to hear from as far as what shows are happening, what's going on creatively, but it's still, from my perspective, it's like scratching the surface of like what all is happening. So
That's
like
what's
the
up.
whole DIY organization it's as pivotal now as it ever has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope people take a chance, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like the DIY scene is as strong as ever. Like it's it's as strong as ever, man. And yeah, man, I mean we're at the very forefront of that.
Seems
You know
like you
what I'm
are,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Culture House.
We
Indeed.
are, man. We are. Like you guys are like I'm inspired by.
I'm as proud now of it as I was like day
Right.
one when you
Yeah.
opened it. Like,
Yeah.
'cause you see the potential, like what
Yeah.
all is creatively possible as far as community organizing. It's
It's
been great to see from the
Yeah.
outside looking in, man.
Yeah, man, it's been great, man. I'm fortunate to have like good friends and stuff like that like help me upstart. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe and like my Eric, you know, Zoe, like just dudes who like put their fingers in and donated and, you know what I'm saying? Like actually helped me with things, man, like getting started, bro. Like, yeah, it's morphed to this over time, but there's no way if it was just me, like I would have even accumulated or even got the you know, got the credit due. Like I had to lean heavy on you guys, man. Like ask you guys to come do shows and to brand this thing, you know what I mean? And using those relationships, man, to get the people buy-in, you know what I'm saying, was like really, really important. So again, yes, we have to support each other in these endeavors, man. And that way, like these things can like live on. So then we can continue being like an incubator or like, you know, inspiring like the scene. Like I feel like the DIY scene it's gonna be really crazy because, you know, like this we're inspiring a lot of people to get to it. The only thing I worry about is that people don't get impatient.
Yep.
We've been on journeys, guys.
There's perseverance
We've been on journeys
involved for sure.
Like you referenced 2014. You know what I'm saying? So like think about your 12 years, right? Of like consistently working hard, you know, towards a goal and then
Intention.
you know, building. So some think that happens in a year
Easily.
too easily to develop those relationships, develop that rapport to where someone will move a mountain for you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
It's a long game.
It is a long game.
And you know what? It was a great I can think of two like national artists that I'm big fans of who have been kind of on the same game for years now. And it's one, Marlon Craft out of Hell's Kitchen, New York.
Marlon Craft, yeah.
Seeing him like 10 plus years and watching him like do freestyles in his bedroom to you know, at one point early in his career, opening for Mobb Deep, or, you know, starting like a live band residency now that he's doing, but it's without the aid of, like, you know, I'm sure he's going through as much as anyone about like not really having what type of like label representation or like the things that just come automatically. Like he's out here doing it like in real time and like putting a lot of his own resources into building his community. Really but also think of a band called the Rat Boys from Chicago too. Been a big fan of. I discovered them over COVID. They were actually here in 2019 playing with at O'Leavers, but for some reason I had to miss that show. But like seeing their career grown and seeing how much they keep an ear to the streets about what's happening, even on like a socioeconomic level, about like the politics of our country and like, you know, believing in causes that like affect marginalized community, but also at the same time, simultaneously putting out just like dope rock records. So the level of community and engagement I see from that, it gives me a lot of hope to see it from even artists like that who are, to sound selfish, like living a life I want to live. But it doesn't stop me from taking pride in what I'm doing and like still honing and getting better at my own craft, whether it's playing music or just networking. Yeah.
So fall in love with the journey, fall in love with the process. Just know that like you'll be better tomorrow than you are like today. So.
And you know, even when I'm on these tours with the Monks, you know, this last one was 6 months. My one prior was 16 months.
Dang.
So when I'm away from my turntables, I think of things completely different than if I'm actually able to practice, say, or look at the record and, you know, have this tangible thing where it's at that point, you know, memory and muscle memory kind of.
Yeah.
That, you know, so the other day I was actually at Odo. Shout out to Keith and Neil.
Shout out to the boys.
Odo, man.
Had a place for me to play, and it was like riding a bike.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
You know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And so to just kind of break things apart and mold them back together, maybe a little different way, isn't a bad thing, you know? Because like you said, it's a long game.
It's a long game.
It is.
And how do we learn?
As far as Joe's skill is concerned, like I just want to get to learn how to ride that bike. You know what I mean? Like I imagine myself in maybe in like a year's time, like I'm be able to have that capacity to go DJ places and offer like whatever to vent out my creativity through another lane, like in another medium, rather than just being a songwriter or just a beat maker or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like telling a story in my experience with how I DJ.
I can imagine how you felt going in there. Was this your first time going in Odo?
Yeah, when I came back.
So
because they had opened it when I was on the road.
Okay, so when you played, that was the first time you've been in there?
Yeah.
Dang. So going in for the first time and like the toys is already there for you. You ain't got to bring your own stuff.
I brought my own records, but they had
your own records, but you ain't had to bring no tables.
Nothing.
Right? You
no
like
mixer. Damn. I don't got to set it up. So when we were actually over at Cottonwood, we had to bring our own PA. We had to bring our own setup. And I'm bringing records, so I had to bring my own records. And then I had to, you know, worry about the sun, the direct sun over on that side of the pool.
Oh, man.
Right.
Yeah.
One time the tent blew away. You know, just all kinds of stuff. But it's just fun to be able to do it.
It's fun.
Whether it's good or bad,
but dang,
it's part of the process.
But going into something that is so like thought out and curated just for you, like intentionally feels good, don't it?
It does.
Most definitely.
I know for a DJ or even for me when I did my release there, you know, and come on, man, like all we asked for is some great sound, right? And so when you got the big old joints they got, right? And you can hear the record at its peak.
You hear the stuff that you wouldn't normally, you know, when we listen to stuff on our phone, you know.
Yeah.
We lose frequencies.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. You know, so and this is some stuff that like heads won't understand. Like if you're not a head, right? And when I say a head, like a sound head, right? You know, because your ears are trained, man. Like, you know, we train our ears for, you know, like quality do. So like we could tell the difference between something that's over compressed or something's been, you know, squashed, or if it's something sitting, you know, too low or something's too hot, right? You know what I mean? Like we know that. So for me, like every time I go in an Odo, I'm going there really to hear music.
And I love that because honestly, that's the way that I DJ. I mean, I can scratch,
and it's great.
Blah.
It's great that philosophy is ingrained into their business model.
Yeah, it's
to,
like,
you know,
let's
it's
slow
like
it up.
Yeah, exactly. Like people like our friends, like Keith and Neil and other like-minded folks who are helping run that. It's
Shout out
like,
to them
it
boys.
is already ingrained in like, it's a part of like the whole, it's a pillar of why they're
is a
a
pillar.
business that exists.
Yeah.
Is to
Yeah.
go into, have a disciplined experience of like
Yes.
listening.
Observing
Uh-huh.
in a way that we don't really observe anymore. You know, we're like shepherded to a lot of our experiences these days. It seemed like where it's not really. I don't know. I don't want to get into all this stuff.
I feel like we can go on all day about this kind of stuff.
I know, for real.
But like, I was gonna say, there's an importance in having spaces like that
Yes.
in the modern age that we're living in too, where everything's, you know, I can feel like over the years go by, like the attention span of society just shrinking and shrinking, like in a lot of ways. So it's like still to bring people back to a common cause or to have a more intentional experience is getting more and more important as time goes on.
Well,
I feel
you
like.
know, and as time has gone on, where do storytellers sit in different societies? You know, where that's becoming, it's going to come back. You know,
You're right. It has to come back.
has to.
It has to come back. Someone has to, not someone, but us ourselves. And I think that comes back to us telling our stories too, which is something that's becoming more important. Look, you're right. We can't go all day, right? We can't go on and on and on. Mitch, you ain't been back since season 1, so it's great to have you here.
Itch.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man. Joe, you know, my guy, bro. I ain't seen in a minute, so glad you back in town.
Cool to see that record shelf out front.
We talked about, all right. Man, me and Jay Crumb moved that shit.
I remember the story you guys
Hey,
moved
Jay
at.
Crumb was like, man, never again.
You and
man.
Crumb?
Yeah. Like,
I
man,
said it was 4 people. It was 2 of y'all.
Crumb was like, don't ask me to do nothing like that
I'm
again.
done.
It's fair.
We spent
fair.
we started building that on like some Super Bowl. I think the Patriot. I don't even remember who they played,
man.
but
That's hilarious.
we spent
bro.
Super Bowl Sunday building this fucking record shelf.
Yeah, man. Again,
Oh, man.
time was spent, bro. A lot of sweat and you know what I'm saying. Manpower went to stuff, man. So
It's a labor of love for sure.
it is, man. So that's why I have a greater appreciation for you, bro.
Yeah,
you
man,
know
I
what I'm
appreciate
saying,
it, bro.
right? So much respect to you, man.
Dude.
Appreciate you, my boy. You know what I'm saying? My guy too. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's another episode, y'all. The Backstage, man. My guy Joe Benson.
Mind if I get one little more shout out?
Yeah,
I
go
got
ahead.
this record sale coming up
Do
in
it.
Los Angeles.
Okay.
September 12th. Now Again Records with my boy Egon and the crew.
Okay. Shout out to Egon. Where's it at?
It's going to be in Los Angeles, Highland Park on
Okay.
York Boulevard. We'll have some stuff coming out.
Okay. So
Now
that's
Again Records.
in LA.
Yep, Highland Park.
Bet. What time is that from?
I believe like noon to 6.
Yeah. Cause
So get in line because there's
Yeah.
gonna be some heat.
Okay. So you moving records out there?
Yeah, I got to drive them all out.
Okay, I feel you, man. That's another thing, y'all. Joe be out here.
Hustling.
Telling y'all, you be out here hustling, man. You be
Trying.
slanging on records, dog.
He's got nothing but gems.
Nothing but gems.
I got a
dog.
few junkers.
Well, hey man, one man's trash.
Actually,
Exactly. That's
there
what I'm
is
saying,
something
like-
on every record.
Yeah, so everything be heat, man. Joe just be like, man, I just, you know, sometimes, yeah. So and it still be heat though.
Yep.
So,
Appreciate
If I
you,
may
Marcey.
as well.
yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
peep, stay up on my music. Look up Mitch Jordan music
Mitch Jordan.
on Instagram. I got a record out now. It's called Headpiece. It's my first solo outing. Check Headpiece on every streaming service. Look it up on my Bandcamp. I played every instrument on it. I had friends of mine mix and master it. So it was a dope experience. But I'm about to start writing another record. So, and then, you know, it's called Mitch Jordan Music, man. Look out for a Mitch Fork Festival as well. Announced from Mitch Jordan Music. So appreciate the time, Marcey. This is a blessed hang.
Man, no
It's been
doubt,
a lot
man.
of fun.
I appreciate y'all, man, for sure. All right, y'all, we out of here. Peace.
It's your first time here, wanna see what I'm about. Lot of voices in the room, but I'm who bringing them out. Told them loyalty's a bond, they don't know what that is. They was looking for a wave, life will throw you right in. Follow crumbs through the storm, never saw no sign. Still I mapped out the path, I still need designs.